The story starts with the main character waking up in an elevator with no memory of the past except his name, Thomas. When the elevator gets to its final destination, the doors open and he is pulled up into a huge forest-like place called the Glade by a group of kids who also have lost all of their memories. A funny thing is that they all share the same strange vocabulary to make them feel special. It contains words like clunk, shark face, and many other words. After being at the Glade for a couple of hours, Thomas learns that the place is run by two boys, Albie and Newt, who maintain order by making strict rules and keeping all the boys busy during different types of work. There are gardeners, medics, cooks, sloppers, and runners. This is important because the Glade is surrounded by a huge maze that is home to lethal creatures called grievers. So the boys are stuck trying to survive as well as trying to solve the maze by running all over it and trying to find an exit from the shifting walls. The next day, a girl is delivered through the elevator into the Glade. The boys are amazed, perplexed, and worried because this was the first ever girl, and so they had hope that everything was going to change for the better. However, she shows up mumbling strange things and falls into a coma right when she steps into the Glade. To make things worse, her arrival triggers a lot of things. The sun starts to disappear, the weekly supply drops stop coming, and the maze walls are not closed anymore, which allow the grievers to kill one kid at a time every night. Thomas comes up with a brilliant idea and figures out that the walls' movement have a meaning and that each wall shift is part of a code. After doing more research on this, they find out that the walls are spelling out words. Thomas also discovers that the cliff that they all thought was just an ordinary cliff is where all the grievers come out of. Since the grievers come in and out of this hole, he has the idea to try it out with the boys. When Teresa wakes up, she tells Thomas that they knew each other before and that they were put together in the Glade for a reason. Thomas is so desperate to get his memory back that he gets purposely stung by a griever so that he can go through the changing. He discovers that the griever hole is indeed an exit, and whatever the maze is spelling out is their ticket to escape. When Thomas tells everyone about this, they decide that they would make a run for it and try to make it out of the maze. The Glade gets then divided into two groups, the people who will stay and those who will leave. Most of them leave though. After a whole day of running and fighting off grievers, they make it through the griever hole and out of the maze using the code given by the walls. They found out that the whole maze was an experiment created by a group called Wicked, who may or may not be good. They get rescued by a group of people and are brought to a safe haven where they learn about the flare, a disease that has killed off half of the world's population. After, though, they learn that the people who rescued them are also part of Wicked, and they are suddenly dropped in the middle of the desert. Trial 2 starts.